basketball, there are fans that you go play away that they can literally take the game from you. You can feel like, damn, the fans is not gonna let us win this one tonight.
Yes, I mean,
what place?
Boston.
Boston, yeah.
Why do you hate Boston?
Cause they racist as fuck. That's why they will say anything, and it's fine. I mean, fuck, it's my life. I mean, it's just I've been dealing with my whole life. I don't mind it. Like I hear it. Like if I hear somebody like close by, I check them real quick. I move on to the game. Whatever the fuck, they gonna say whatever the fuck they want to say. They might throw something on you. I mean, I got a beer thrown on me leaving the game. You know, like Boston.
It's the only place in the NBA in America you go and they have like shirts that say like "fuck LeBron."
Yeah, it was like
a section.
It was like a fuck LBJ t-shirt. I believe they probably sold it at the fucking team shop.
No, they sold it outside the ring.
No, they sold it at the team shop. Oh, yeah, doing that shit.
Okay, guys. All right, that was LeBron James. Well, that was part of a longer segment where LeBron James and some of the other guys on the panel, there's an actor, the lead actor from the role Get Out, the movie Get Out, excuse me. I forget his name. This is the guy, though.
My debut with
right, from Get Out. So it was him, an artist.
Cleveland.
Oh, Jesus, I lost it. Okay, there we goes again.
They've worked hard to keep significantly in.
But anyway, I'm going to leave it here on LeBron, just to give you a visual to speak over. Racism in sports as far as the fans. I believe it's even worse with soccer players internationally, so-called black people, and I say so-called because we're not black. So-called black people in Europe playing soccer get called monkey, and they've even thrown bananas on the pitch or the field, as we say in America, but in soccer it's called the pitch. They throw bananas on the pitch. They yell everything you can imagine. So to me, soccer fans are worse than even what you have to deal with in the stands at a Celtics game or a Boston Red Sox game. Now, would this bother me if I was a millionaire athlete? Maybe, depending on how young and how sheltered and naive I was about the world. If my family never sat me down and explained to me how certain people in society will view me just based on my looks alone, then yes, it probably would bother me, because that would be the first time I would have my bubble burst as a young athlete, where everybody's normally blowing roses up your behind. That would be the first time that I think you would get confronted with the idea of racism if you're a young athlete, especially today. So you see how LeBron laughed it off, because he's close, reportedly, or at $1 billion net worth. So what does a billionaire care about poor racist fans or middle class racist fans? You wouldn't. Okay, and but I understand. Yeah, it's just an ongoing issue. I don't know when it's ever going to end. But I tell you what, any normal working so-called black person working a normal job would gladly trade places with any of those millionaire athletes that get called nigger or coon or monkey or get bananas thrown at them or get beer tossed on them, like LeBron said. Hey, man, you could be a fan in the stands and get beer thrown on you. You could go out on New Year's Eve and get champagne and beer and liquor thrown all over you, depending on where you're at. So that's not a big deal. And when you win the championship, you throw alcohol all over yourselves in the dressing room with champagne any damn way. But what can we do? Are most people in Boston racist? Probably not. Are there a handful left over from the old days? I'm sure they are. Has society made a lot of progress in this area? Yes. But a lot of times people get things twisted. Society looks at celebrities and athletes, actors, singers, rappers, well, maybe not rappers, but every other kind of black celebrity gets treated different than the average black person walking the street. how these black millionaire athletes and entertainers, how this comes to their doorstep is because they still have family members that are not millionaire celebrities, that they live regular lives, working regular jobs. Just because you're an athlete or a millionaire entertainer does not mean you can afford to take care of 300 family members. Okay, so they still have to work. They still have to maintain their own lives, and you're going to hear through them what they go through. So a lot of these athletes, like I said, are coddled and spoiled and never even had to work at a real job coming up as a youngster because they were being shuttled through the system as the next star athlete, especially these athletes. Some of these rappers and other actors, yeah, they've had to work in the real world before they broke and made it. But a lot of these athletes, man, are scooped up, especially now with the 19-year rule in the NBA. You got to be 19 years old. They go do that 1 year BS a time in college as a freshman, jump right to the pros. They didn't have a job on campus. They didn't have a job in high school, more than likely, if they were a star athlete. And the NBA is actually their first real job, right? Or maybe soccer, whatever team they play for, is their first real job. And then they get hit with real world stuff. So, what do you guys think? Is racism still a thing? You know, still an issue in sports? Is it an issue in the stands in certain areas, certain territories? And it's weird with Boston because they have the most winning player in the history of probably sports, which is Bill Russell, winning 11 titles in 13 years. And being the face of the league, pretty much, not Jerry West. Jerry West won, I think, one championship with the Lakers, and he's the logo. I did a video about this, why Bill Russell should actually be the logo of the NBA and not Jerry West. It's so obvious that it's painfully obvious. But anyway, this not gonna be a long video, not long-winded. I got more videos to come. It's been Rant Roller Sports. Peace. I'd love to hear your opinion in the comment section.